everyone. Thank you so much for joining our webinar today. This one I'm extremely excited about because we have the lovely Josh Pospisil, Director of E-commerce Sales at PromoShop. Just so everyone knows, a little bit house tidbits here for you to order to get your CS credit, you have to stay for the full webinar, and then all questions can go directly in the chat, and then he'll go through them at the end. And then Josh, you can take it away.
All right, perfect. One, I saw Jeff turned on his camera with that lovely pink blazer that he's got on, so we're going to call that out real quick. I appreciate that. But yeah, so we've been blasting on social media about this webinar, and I really have to thank Nina, Eliana, and Shay really for this opportunity. Nina reached out, several weeks back asking if I wanted to jump in and help, and me being one, a lover of the industry, but like just of the regionals in general, being a past president from HPPA, I want to do as much as I can to support and volunteer. So it was a no-brainer to say yes. If you know me, you know that when it comes to volunteer work, it's usually just sign me up, coach. I will help out however I can. So this was another one of those situations. But before I dive into the presentation, just for those that may not know who I am, I still feel like a baby in the industry. I've been in around 11 years. I come from a background of graphic and web design and some digital marketing for big box retail. Before I did the sketchiest thing on the planet and answered a Craigslist ad years ago, and secured my first job at a local supplier for me here in Houston by the name of KTI Promo. At the time, they were known for bringing the USB drive into the promo industry, and it was a great thing for me. I loved every second of my time there, going from just like a marketing associate to marketing manager, and then going to PPI Expo for the first time was a game changer for me, turning into their sales and marketing manager. But what it really taught me then was I loved this industry so much. And at the time, I had a stage rep that told me, once you get in, it's very hard for you to leave or get out. And if you do leave, most people come back. I truly believe that, because this is like, I love the insanity of the industry. I love how, like, even as competitors, people still collaborate, right? It's healthy competition, and we all need that. But after being at KTI for quite some time, there's a top 40 supplier by the name of Hirsch in the industry that I got a call and made that move over, and it was a great 2.5 years there. It feels like I was there for a lot longer than that when you put it on paper, going from show to show and just being out there with everything Hirsch related. But then I moved to, and this term really kind of drives me a bit insane when people call going to the distributor side the dark side, because I'm having a blast over here. So I don't think it's a dark side at all. In fact, I think it's very nice and bright, and it's Wednesday, so we're just gonna say it's a little pink. But moved over to AIA, and now I'm here at PromoShop, and I've known Kate and Mimo really since I got in, because they were a customer of PromoShops of KTI's at the time. So I love being in this role and being able to blend sales and my graphic and web design background. It's fantastic. But let's jump into this presentation. And normally I know everybody would want to throw up a PowerPoint and, kind of maybe, talk through the PowerPoint. That's not me. If you ever saw one of my presentations at Hirsch, you never got a PowerPoint. I was showing you product large and in charge on screen. So that's what you're going to get today. You'll get me here talking the entire time. And as a follow-up, you will get that presentation that I have tailored up and an additional PDF document that I'll reference later on as I'm talking. So title today, Navigating Promo in Today's World. It's a loaded statement today's world, right? Because there's a lot going on. There's a lot of issues. We're dealing with, the T word, tariffs, political unrest, which really does change a lot for us. But at the end of the day, to navigate through this, it's about adapting, evolving, and how are you going to thrive in our ever-changing world, right? So as we go through, there's going to be a lot thrown at you today. And some of it you may be like, Josh, shut up. I already know about this. But who knows? Maybe you can take just one small tidbit away today to help change your mindset on something that will help you grow your business tremendously. So, just kind of stating the facts, right? We've dealt with situations like what we're in today, the uncertainty of pricing, of, orders coming in. We deal with that all the time. Tariffs aren't new to us, right? They happened years ago. We've dealt with them. Think about COVID times, right? I know it's a lot of PTSD for a lot of people, me included. I did not know I was going to be a teacher to a fourth and fifth grader at the time while also managing my full-time job. So there was a lot at play during that time, right? But what was the overused key term during COVID? And yes, it makes me think of a Friends reference when they're moving the couch up the stairs, which is pivot, right? We remember Ross going up that stairs just yelling, pivot, pivot, right? It brings back funny memories from the show, but so many bad memories from when we were dealing with it during COVID. But you overcame during COVID. What happened? You were selling your everyday products, and then a week later, you had to pivot. You had to then start finding ways to get branded hand sanitizer, branded face mask, maybe some unbranded face masks at the time when we just had the paper ones. Forehead thermometers, right? Companies wanted those with their logos on them. Some suppliers couldn't provide that, so they were just blank. But everyone moved to selling as much PPE product as possible, right? That's what we had to do to keep our doors open from the supplier and the distributor side of things. So you did it then. Keep that mindset for how you did that then, and utilize all of those tough skills that you learned then into today. But we're not going to say pivot. We're not going to rehash all of the crazy that was. Just use stay nimble, because being nimble means you're navigating through obstacle after obstacle and you're going to succeed through them. Pivot means a complete change. Being nimble means you can go all over the place, make your way around the block, and still come out on top. So that's really what today is about, is staying nimble and navigating through the crazy. And you know what? At the end of the day, what we learned during COVID, still relevant for now. Companies need their promo, they need their merch, they need their swag. Does it change dollar amounts? Yes. When there's times of political unrest or tariffs, your order volume may shrink a little bit. People may not be ordering your $50, $60 items, right, from your suppliers. They may shrink their budget down to, okay, I need $215 items. And that's, keep that mindset like, man, I'm not getting those bigger orders anymore. That's okay. You're still getting these smaller orders that can still help keep your business open. And really at the end of it, it's just like, and I can thank Memo, our founder of PromoShop. It's about staying vigilant and staying hungry. Memo uses stay hungry a lot during our sales meetings, and it is so true. Don't be complacent. Don't stick to the status quo. Stay hungry with your existing customers, with those that have fallen off the face of the planet, and new ones. So with that, let's jump into some of your tactics, right? You've got your book of business. Maybe you've only been in a year. Maybe you've been in 30 or more years. Newbie to a seasoned vet, right? Even someone who's trying to craft their exit plan, their retirement plan. Don't go out being on a status quo. Go out being on top. Show even the year of retirement, you have grown your business tremendously. And man, how grateful is the next person if you decide to sell your business to them? You grew it, and then they get to take that on and then possibly expand on that too. They are lucky to have that opportunity from you. So one of the things, and this again comes from a sales meeting that I'm sure we've all heard it, but it was just so relevant in a sales meeting I was in with PromoShop just last week. Take your book of business. Look at it from the last 2 years, right? Deep dive into it. And I know we may all say we're so busy every single day, but block off time on your calendar for this. And I am notoriously bad at blocking time on my calendar to set my goals for the week. Right? We're so busy, but this is a necessity for this, so you can know where your business was 2 years ago from where you're at, not just from oh, I made $2 million that year. Now I'm at 3 or whatnot. look at the orders, look at your customers. You're downloading this list. Look at where they were at in 23, what happened in 24, and now where you're at in 25. Those customers that have, let's just say, dropped by 50%, or even just completely to zero, because they exist, it's going to happen, but highlight those. Build a new document with those that have just basically fallen off the face of the planet for you, and plan an attack for this. Let's get a plan together so you can attack them and get that business back, or at least just figure out the why behind. So many of us are scared to ask questions around what happened? Why aren't you ordering from me anymore? Are they uncomfortable conversations? Yes, right? Nobody likes confrontation. Nobody likes to ask questions like the elephants are in the room, but it's a necessity for you to find, because it could be something small that maybe happened along the way that you didn't address, or that you could address then. So those that went to $0 are the ones you want to highlight the most. Call them. Pick up the phone and call them. I know we live in a day and age of texting and emails, and everyone says, just shoot me a text. That's the easiest way to get me. I am the number one fault person for that. My mom even knows if she needs to get a hold of me, to shoot me a text. If it's a phone call, then I'm like, oh my God, what's going on? So a lot of the times now, if you call someone, call that old customer. Say, hey, what's going on? Like, you ordered from me last year, haven't seen anything. Maybe I've been emailing you, they're going unopened. What's going on? Did I do something? Did something go wrong? Because the order seemed to have gone great. So I just want to understand what happened and how our connection got lost. And then hear them out. It could have been one weird thing for them, or they could be just like, hey, we just needed a quicker turn and someone had reached out right at the perfect time, so we went with them. Which is going to be painful to hear, but then at least you can say, all right, I understand. I'm sure you have projects going on right now. What can I do to help get your business back? I would love to show you that you want to stick with me. You want me to help you. I can give you such and such products, but it's not just about the products that I'm giving you. It's about the experience, the level of service I'm able to provide you that maybe they're not. We deal with the 4 imprints of the world, right? Where it's just order taking, or the Amazonization, which I know is a large word and I probably made that up, but we've used it in the past, of things where it's, just place your order online. But at the end of the day, you think about 4 imprint, you think about Amazon, or even let's say the dreaded Y word, which is Yeti. When you're dealing with them direct, you're just another number in their system, right? You don't have that personal touch. If something gets printed wrong and shipped to you from one of those places, at the end of the day, they likely don't care, because you're not a human to them. You are just an order number. Position yourself like that to your customers, the ones especially that you lost that business with. I'm here for you. I will make sure that you're getting such great service that you're not just a number. You're not a number to me. You're a person, and I want to make sure you're taken care of, and that your company and your employees who are receiving this merch are taken care of. That will go a long way. But please, please, please do the hard thing and ask what happened. It will go a long way, and tons of people will appreciate the fact that you called it out. Some may not, but it is what it is, right? You just kind of, if they just want to write you off, then at the end of the day, you can just move on. Which, when you're moving on, even though you've been in the business, let's just say 30 years, got your nice book of business going, but you're still wanting to grow, you're still hungry. It's always time for a do-over. You can always start some portion of your business from scratch. Is it scary? Yes. Is it hard? Yes. If you can ask the hard question of what did I do? What did I do to break the relationship? You can also do the hard thing and start some other portion of your business from scratch, because you're going to have your existing business. You're going to have your past customers that you're trying to grow. You still need new businesses. You still need new money coming in the door, new orders from new customers. Businesses are opening their doors. all the time, right? You've got local businesses, you've got big corporate companies, you've got companies coming from overseas into the US who need different types of merch, or maybe it's a company that's expanding into overseas markets where they need new merch just for that specific market. So start from scratch. Is it scary? Yes. Everyone now will be like, oh my God, cold calls are so uncomfortable. We feel like a bill collector, but they still work. And so do cold emails. So where do you even start, right? Yes, you've done it for 30 years, or you're new, right? You've been given a book of business. How do you even know where to start in today's world, right? Maybe you got a telephone book in the past, which, they don't exist anymore, but you had it. You could look for the businesses. You could look in a newspaper for certain things. You don't get that option anymore. You got to go to social, which, yes, I know it's probably you're like, of course he's going to talk about social. And I am, but in a more like not just posting type of deal. But when it comes to starting from scratch, there's some tech savvy ways that you can do this. So it helps. It makes you more efficient, because what is the other thing? We want to work smarter, not harder. We want to be more efficient at our jobs so we can get more done. And one of those things, there's an online platform to help you generate leads from the ground up, and it's called Zoom Info. There are other platforms out there, but I've actually personally used Zoom Info at my past job when I was over business development at AIA. Zoom Info was a great resource for us because you can go into Zoom Info. By the way, you can get a free trial through Zoom Info. It's not free for all the time, but you can still get a free trial to try it out, and it's very much worth it. You'll see the need for the cost on it. Because look, we all have 12,000 streaming services that we're paying for. Maybe eliminate one that you don't watch so much, pay for Zoom Info. It'll be really helpful because that'll be more beneficial for your business in the long run and your personal life at the end of the day, because you're bringing in more money. But with Zoom Info, you go into this platform. You can search for whatever you want to search for, medical companies, right? Maybe that's your jam. That's what you want to hone in on. Or maybe you're into financial institutions or schools or college, whatever it may be. You can put such a general term in there to start with, and it just lists out all of the names, email addresses, and phone numbers for you for these businesses. And then you can sector it out by other keywords, right? So you want to specifically hone in on like certain types of banks, right? Maybe it's federal, or you're looking for local stuff. You can put in so many different keywords to narrow down your list to curate a really strong cold call list. And it'll even give you some revenue numbers for how much the company does a year. Obviously, if you're dealing with a bank, that's a little bit, it's a little bit different because we don't know, they're holding a lot of people's money. So I wouldn't say take that into account. But if you're looking for other types of like, what are car dealerships doing? What are some of these other smaller businesses worth? Zoom Info will give you that general info with that. And it's great. So when you're also using Zoom Info, another layer of what we did, which I'll reference a little more in just a second, is we also took that information into LinkedIn. Verify it, right? Yes, this person still works for that company because maybe they had just left. Yes, they still work there. Cool. I know I can call them. Build that list out, call them. Call them before you send an email. If they don't answer, follow it with an email and then follow it with another call. Build out your own sales sequence here. I'm going to call, I'm going to wait 2 days, I'm going to send an email. If they don't respond, 2 days later, I'm going to do another call and check in with them and just see. They may finally pick up that day. They always say it takes about 12 touches to get someone to pick up their phone when you're doing a cold call list. So stick to that. Keep that in mind. After try 3 or try 4, don't let it get you down. Keep going. It's 12 touches. It's just like dealing with ads, right? We get pop-up ads all the time. I get sucked into TikTok shop like nobody's business, but they always say it takes 4 to 7 times for someone to see an ad before they click on it. Keep that in mind when you're doing your cold calls. That'll really be helpful. So be that bill collector. Keep going, keep going, keep going. Because with Zoom Info, there's so much data that you can dive into. It's unreal. Outside of ZoomInfo, take a deep dive into some project management softwares that are out there. There's a ton out there. One of my personal favorites that I've used at past jobs that we also get to use at PromoShop is a platform called HubSpot. Some people use Salesforce. I didn't have the greatest experience with Salesforce, so I love me some HubSpot. It's a fantastic platform to pull in all of those leads, right? You can import all of those leads from ZoomInfo directly into HubSpot. You can build out a mass blast email list and connect it with Outlook, Google, whatever platform you use to email your customers with. It'll connect seamlessly. And if you want to do a mass blast through there to this list you've curated from ZoomInfo, it'll mass blast it and it'll look like it comes from your personal inbox. So that way you don't really have to deal with the whole spam side of things. Now, granted, if you're dropping freebie in the subject line for this, yes, most everybody's going to get marked as spam. So curate your subject lines really carefully if you are going to do something like this, whether it's with HubSpot or another project management software for your emails, trying to gain new business or even existing business. Just another tidbit that I actually don't have on my slide that's on the other screen. There's a website called subjectline.com. So if you're writing out blasting emails, utilize that website, drop your subject line in there that you're wanting to use and just hit test, and it will score your subject line from 0 to 100. It's like being back in grade school. I get it. But I used it all the time when I was doing emails at KTI or even when I was helping with them at Hirsch. And if something fell below a 95, I wouldn't use it. But it gives you detailed listings below of why they took points off of your subject line or why they're adding back in points into your subject line. Now, thanks to AI, there's also an AI feature built into it where they'll give you other options for subject lines that will test better. So again, that's subjectline.com. If you forget it, just Google subject line checker, and it's the first one that pops up. So incorporate all that together with HubSpot, you're going to be golden. And within HubSpot, when I referenced the sales sequence, you can build that all in HubSpot for you. So what you can do is you can go into HubSpot. You have all of your customer information in here. You're like, I want to blast these 100 people that I've pulled from ZoomInfo or these 100 customers that I haven't heard from in a year. You're going to go into a sales sequence, call, right? As soon as you say call, like you called them, go back into HubSpot, check that box. 2 days later, it will auto send an email for you. So you're not having to do it by hand. You pre-wrote it, it's already there, and it just blasts out automatically, right? That's great. You can set it for any time. I referenced 2 days, but if you want it to be a day or a week, you build that timeline out for what best fits your needs. Then once that email blasts out, build in one more step. If they haven't responded or unsubscribed to your email, then set it for another, let's just say 3 days. 3 days later with no response from your email, not even a click, no open, nothing, it's going to ping you. It's going to send you a notification. Hey, you don't forget, you need to call these lists of people that didn't respond to your email. You can build it out all the way down to those 12 touches to make sure you're following through with that 12 touch rule for getting people to follow through and pick up the phone or answer an email. Again, you can set it to 5 or 7 if you want, but do like research all over Google. Usually you're going to see 12 touches most every time. And of course, like I said, cold calls still matter. Someone needs to hear your voice. Make them hear your voice. Don't let them not hear your voice. That's super important. And when you're building out your emails or when you're trying to get these conversations, and I can thank Ben Block from PromoShop for this, offer them a freebie. And I get it. I know you're like, duh, that's a freaking no-brainer. Of course, we're going to offer them something, but just make sure you're doing it. Even put it at the bottom of your email. Schedule 15 minutes with me to talk, and I'll make sure there's, such and such item that hits your doorstep a few days later. I'll make sure you get this, or I'll make sure you get that. Give them an incentive to talk to you. It's what we do with our sales teams, right? Hey, your monthly sales contest, right? If you do this, 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 and this, you grow your numbers by such and such amount, you're going to get this and this, or maybe you're going to score a trip or something really awesome. Treat your customers just like that. Incentivize them to talk to you. Give them a reason. Give them a reason to pick up that phone. And then, of course, I know I referenced social before, and I'm not talking Facebook. I'm not talking Instagram. I'm not talking how many likes I get from my mom on my posts when I show my kids. Those are great because she gets to be the grandma. But how are you going to utilize social for your business, right? It's great for brand recognition. I mean, I really do love the things that social has done, like personally, professionally, like it's great. I've seen it outside of me. I see it do great things for other individuals in this industry. There's so many people that are doing fantastic things on social, from gaining new business and just building their own personal brand outside of a company that they may be working for. And there's so many platforms. But what I'm going to tell you is zone in on LinkedIn. There is tons of untapped potential within this platform. And for years, I felt like LinkedIn was having it seemed like decade long identity crisis, right? When it came into the market, that's where I'm going to search for a job. I'm getting off of like Career Finder and all these other places. I'm going to go to LinkedIn. I'm going to make sure my resume is on there. I'm going to ask everybody for recommendations, and that's how I'm going to apply for jobs. Then LinkedIn turned into like this weird Facebook thing, right? Like, is it personal? What am I posting on here? It got confusing. I tapped out of LinkedIn. I was like, I can't do this. Lucky enough, there's Jessica Gibbons Roch, or JGR, if you know her personally, that works over at PPAI and is in charge of education. She called me one day, and her and Jay Bassell were doing LinkedIn makeovers, right? So they called me and asked if I would be their guinea pig, and of course put me in coach. Let's do it. They revamped my LinkedIn profile because I told them, I don't know what to do on here. I don't understand this platform. What is it trying to be? Is it Facebook? Is it professional? What is it? And they flat out said it's a combo of both. You need to do personal and professional stuff on LinkedIn if you want your audience to grow. I did that. It's great. LinkedIn honestly is probably my preferred platform to post on, because you're not only posting stuff, you're getting educated by other things that are articles that are being posted. It's not about what drama's going on in your hometown and so forth. Some of the stuff that comes from LinkedIn is legitimately real, and it helps you build your business. But what you can also do with LinkedIn is direct message, DMs. We're not talking sliding into someone's DMs because that sounds just as sketchy as a Craigslist ad does. But you will DM. You're going to direct message them, but you're going to DM them with the right kind of purpose, not the wrong kind that you may use on like a TikTok or something. So there's companies that I know, conversations that I've had with other distributors in this industry, that they have a sales team. And part of their thing each week is, one, block that time off on the calendar for this. To scroll through LinkedIn, just say schools or banks, however you want to filter down a search term in LinkedIn, and find all these people you haven't connected with. One, hit that connect button on as many people that you think you can get business from. Connect, 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 connect. Build your audience within LinkedIn. Doesn't hurt. They may say no, or they may just go ahead and accept it anyway. But what these people were doing, these other distributors, they were going into that, finding their email address. They were just message, cold call, direct messaging outreach through LinkedIn. And what the name of their game was, hey, I know you may already have someone that you're using to get your promotional products, your swag, whatever you're handing out to your employees or your team. You may already have that. But let me tell you what I can also do. Yes, I can do exactly what they're doing, but I'm going to provide you this and this service. You need something rush? I can do that. Everybody needs a rush. Hit them up during Q4. I guarantee you they'll need a rush. Just push that out there and say, look, I may not be your number one right now, but if and when that number one can't come through, let me be your number two. Let me be the person that can come in and help you save the day for your employees and your team. It will go a long way, and they secured tons of business through this. And I say tons, it's a loaded word, right? Because tons could mean 5 tons, could mean 10 orders, right? It's all over the place. But at the end of the day, it helped their business grow. And that's what matters, right? Is growing your business and not staying to the status quo. When you're in LinkedIn, there's also a more professional tool called LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Yes, another paid subscription service, but again, stop going to Starbucks or Dunkin' or Dutch Bros or whatever it is. Just nix one coffee a week. It'll pay for LinkedIn Sales Navigator. Again, you get a free trial for 30 days with LinkedIn Sales Navigator. After that, it ranges between 99 and like 139 a year. So at this point, that's cheaper than your Netflix subscription, unless you're paying for the one with ads, which is a little bit cheaper. So just consider you're giving yourself a premium Netflix plan that's going to help you grow your business and not let you just binge watch on the couch, watching, the last season of You or Ransom Canyon or one of these other shows that's on. Maybe you're into the dating shows that show on there. But what LinkedIn Sales Navigator will do is it's kind of like a mix of traditional LinkedIn with Zoom info, because you can go into LinkedIn Sales Navigator and search deeper into someone's profile without actually being connected to them, to see what they truly like before you want to DM them, before you want to message them. You can go in and see maybe they do post a little bit of personal stuff on their LinkedIn profile. Someone likes wine, or someone is huge into craft breweries and such. You can say, hey, just want to reach out, I see you do this in this business, but I also see we share a common interest. I see you're into craft breweries, I'm into craft breweries. That's a huge thing. Or maybe you do just show like a mock-up, get a mock-up created of like this really cool tumbler or another shirt, like a shirt from Sanmar or something, and with a craft brewery logo on it, and say, hey, just want to show you some of the stuff that I can do. And you send them that through LinkedIn, you send them that mock-up. They might be like, oh, that's really cool. That's really cool. And if it relates back to a craft brewery, that's going to resonate with them more, because they're going to be like, man, he really added that personal touch, or she added that personal touch just to message me. Let me entertain a conversation with these people, right? Let me see what they have to say that they could potentially do for me. And then that gives you your in, that gives you your elevator, another elevator speech with them, gives you a try to see what you can get out of them. And then what you can do with that is, once that true connection is made and they respond back, take that and put that into your project management software. Don't let it sit with it just LinkedIn. Move them out of that, put them into your project management software so you can continuously email them updates, new products, all these other things that you have coming at you. Then now that they made that personal connection through LinkedIn, and y'all may still talk through LinkedIn, they're also getting your other messaging. That's additional touch for you. It's additional exposure for everything you've got going on. This also, like doing all of that, helps you create those genuine connections by relating to something personal that someone has going on that they've posted about their likes in LinkedIn. It creates that real person connection. You're not just a bot on a keyboard trying to message someone, right? And then, we have to talk about AI. It's here. It's like, never fear, AI is here. I was a huge late adopter to AI. Honestly, it freaked the crap out of me. I was like, I can't deal with an iRobot situation. I don't want it. Just like I was on the tech side, I was a late adopter to power banks. I'm like, if I can't keep my phone charged, I'm not going to keep a power bank charged. Power banks are all over my house now, and they're charged all the time. We can relate the same way with AI. You may be terrified of it, but use it to your strengths. Jump in, utilize AI to help you with your business. If you have hit that wall, you've taken some of these tactics back, you're like, Josh is full of crap, I can't use any of this in my everyday life with my business. You can absolutely use AI in your daily for helping you with your business. Say, hey, how can I craft this email better? How can I make it more like mesmerizing and outgoing that someone wants to open it? Hey, can you write me a phone script for what I need to say to really attract, to get someone's attention for the 10 seconds I have once they pick up the phone, if that, right? It'll give you all of those tools to do that. It'll even, some platforms on here will even make and design an entire presentation for you. If you don't have a design team or someone to help with that, there are AI platforms out there that will code out a presentation for you. I've actually started using it and it's been great. So, the main three are the ones like I'll say that I've heard the most. You've got Microsoft Copilot. If you have your Microsoft 365, your Outlook 365 thing, Copilot is attached into that. Use that. Use it. It's a great tool and it's just a desktop icon. Create me a presentation. Now, Copilot won't design out the presentations, right? But it'll at least give you the details you need for slides. It'll help you build a phone script. It'll write out emails for you. You can change it. You can say, hey, I like that word, but can you change it to this? Can you make it just a little more engaging? And they'll change certain nuances in those emails to again, make it catch someone's attention. Obviously, Chat GPT, I feel like that's the one everybody knows, right? It's the Google of AI is the best way to put it. They were one of the first ones in the market. They're the ones that most people reference and stuff. There's your free version and your paid version. Chat GPT can do everything. Like with Copilot, you can also get some images built for you, although sometimes it takes a little longer if there's a mass amount of people using it at the same time. I was an experience of that issue a few weeks back, trying to get something done for a customer, and Chat GPT just couldn't get the image ready for me in enough time. There's also another one that I'm going to reference that Kate Alves, our lovely president over at PromoShop, she's probably going to smile from ear to ear, is a program called Claude. It's like your virtual AI assistant, right? And this one, it takes a lot for me to fully geek out and nerd out about something, even though like web and graphics are kind of like, I can just like looking at lines of code may make some people insane. And I'm like, I can just get lost in looking at it sometimes on my own if I'm just doing an inspection of like a website or whatever. So with Claude, it's even more in depth. And yet again, free version, there is a free version there. But there's a paid version that will do even more. So with Claude, you can go in and say, hey, build me a presentation based on all of this. If you say build or create me a presentation, not just an outline, this thing it will open a side like piece, a sidebar on the same screen, and you'll see a live coding, HTML coding of your presentation. It will add animations if you want. You can ask it, okay, I love this. Can you give me the information on how to create a PowerPoint for it? It won't create the .pptx files for you, but it'll tell you exactly what the colors are that you need to use to build this, what the fonts and everything are, so you basically can recreate the same thing you're seeing online in your PowerPoint. It helped me build my PowerPoint for this that y'all are going to get later. Claude. So it's CLAUDE. Yep. I see Jenna dropped that in there. I would check them out. I was like going bananas when it built that presentation for me. And now I'm like completely sold on it. So I go from an AI naysayer to a yes sayer. Like, it's great. Yes, people are, there's always the bad apples that try and use it for the bad things. Don't be one of those. Use it for the great things that it can do. Use it for the great things that it can do for your business. I referenced earlier, you're going to get an additional PDF from me. What I also used Claude for was I said, hey, I want you to write me a business plan, a plan of attack on how to grow my existing customer base and gain new customers. So everything that I've said today, plus whatever's in that AI document that you're going to get that I have that I read through, I was like, dang, I didn't even think to write that down. I didn't even bring it into this presentation for a specific reason. So you have that to reference after the fact, but it was absolutely stunning what that pulled together. So you're also going to get that at the end once the recording is mailed or sent out via email, mailed. Who am I? Like snail mail? We don't do that anymore. I mean, sometimes we do. But one of the last things I will leave with you, it's just a quote, and it's a quote I read in a PPAI article last week by one of my best friends on the absolute planet. Some of you are probably going to roll your eyes, or some of you are going to laugh if you've ever seen us present together in the past. And that would be your VP of sales over at Hearst. That would be Brittany Phrase. I love that she's getting all the recognition she's getting, but she writes articles, quarterly articles for PPAI. And this quote was in there, and it resonates so well with this presentation. And it says, nothing great happens without growth, and nothing grows without change. So if change is the only constant, perhaps resilience should be as well. So I will leave us with that, and we will open the chat and see if there's any questions that have popped in here. Ooh, Terry Harlan, egos don't exist in new business. Call again. I love that. I'm going to use that quote, and I will have to reference you for it because that is an amazing thing. Sean, $5 freebie for $100,000 in business, totally worth it. Agreed. And so I don't see any questions in here, but please don't hesitate to reach out to me. You'll get all my information in the PowerPoint deck, but if you need to get a hold of me, just message me on LinkedIn, DM me. Just reach out. If we're connected on Instagram or Facebook, message me through there too. I will answer any questions if you just want to chat. It's not just about growing business. If you want to talk through growing a personal brand, you want to just talk through some struggles you're having, business related, or if we're great friends, you can reach out to personal wise. I'm here to help no matter what. Email address wise, I could tell you it's jpospisil@promoshopinc.com. But Pospisil is a little hard to spell. I won't do it on here, but we'll make sure you have it on the back end when everything comes across. So look at that. I did it in 46 minutes. So that gives y'all all 14 minutes back in your day. But thank you again. I appreciate everyone that was on here, that stayed on. This has been so fantastic. Thank you, Allison, for dropping my email address in there. I appreciate it. So I will let everyone get back to their pink day or their Wednesday. But thanks again, everyone. And I can't wait to see everyone out when I come to a show soon. Bye.